Hello friends, thanks for tuning in to this week's tech tip. I'm going to teach you some keyboard shortcuts. If you give me 5 minutes, I'll give you some hours back over the next 12 months of wasted time. Okay, so I'm sharing my desktop. This is what you're looking at right now, and you can see that I've got this window right here. And I taught you guys before that you can drag this and snap it to the side like that. See how it's doing that? And just let go, and it snaps that window like that. Well, there's another way to do this. You can actually use your keyboard to do this, and I learned this working with a client this week, good friends of mine over at Home Rental Services. And so what you do is you hold the window key down and you use the arrow keys. And this is even more powerful because it's even faster. So if you hold the window key and hit left, it makes the window go to the left. If you hold the window key and go right now, it'll go back to the screen size it was. And if you hold the window key and go right again, it'll go to the right side of the screen, right? So you can switch between left, right. The other thing you can do is once it's on a side, you can go up to make it take up the top quarter of the screen, or down and then down to take up the bottom corner. So there's all this stuff that you can do. You can also maximize it just by hitting up. When it's in this mode right here, you can hit window up to maximize the window, and then down to take it back, and down again to minimize the window. So there's all these things you can do with the window arrow key. I encourage you guys to click around and try this. It will blow your mind away. It's so helpful. So last thought before I go on to the next tip is that if you window right this, so I hit window and then the right arrow key, and then you let go of the window key, what happens is it brings up this all the open applications you have that you can pick to click into the left pane here. So I'm going to click this PDF document I've got, for example, right? So there you go. That's how you can do a quick split screen. And now that I have the focus back on this right-hand side, I can go window left to bring it back to the middle of my page. This is so helpful. I like using the keyboard. It's just a lot faster than using the mouse. So instead of having to snap these precisely to the window like that, you can actually just use window left, window right, window up to maximize, and window down to minimize. It is so helpful. So forgive me for the glare on my glasses. I'm going to go back to my screen share here. So what you're seeing right now is a Word document. And this next set of tips is to help people really learn how to use their keyboard to select and move text more efficiently. I learned a lot of these skills when I was a programmer for many years, when I was right out of college. And I still use these today to be very efficient with how I'm using selection and moving and copying, pasting text and all that stuff. So what a lot of people will do is, let's say that they were wanting to highlight this sentence, they'll do exactly what I just did, right? They might want to do that. Or let's say that they're trying to get this whole line. They'll sit here and drag and click, and now they've got this whole line selected. But what you can do with the keyboard is put your cursor anywhere in. I could have put my cursor anywhere on this line, right? And then I can hit the home key on my keyboard, home, to go to the beginning of a sentence, and end to go to the end. So I don't know if you saw that, but home brings the cursor to the very beginning of that row, and the end key on the keyboard takes you to the very end. So with that idea, know that what you can do is hit shift home, right? And shift end. So if I do shift end, that's going to select the whole thing. If I hit shift end, that selects the whole line. The other thing you can do is add another modifier. And I know this sounds a little complicated, but once you get the hang of it, it's amazing. So you can hold shift click and right arrow to select words at a time, which is really helpful if you're just trying to get a certain amount of stuff. And if you just hold the shift and the arrow key, it's just a single character at a time, right? But a lot of people didn't realize shift control is a word at a time. So what you can do is get the stuff that you're wanting to copy. So I haven't left the keyboard, right? I'm sitting here copying this line, and I can decide, oh, I need a copy of this. So Control C. And I need to actually put that, a copy of that at the beginning of this line too, which is Control V. So what I did there is I just hit Control V, as in Victor, to paste. And a lot of people know copy and paste with the keyboard. But think about that. Instead of me having to come up here and click and highlight this whole thing, and then right click and say copy, and then come here and do paste, which I don't even know how to do that. Keep source formatting, sure, let's do that. And then hit space. I mean, look how much longer that took me to do versus just clicking anywhere on this line, hitting home, control, shift, control, shift, control, shift, control, one shift arrow to get to the end of the sentence, copy, come down with my arrow keys, paste, space. I'm done. I've copied and pasted that row. So using keyboard shortcuts with shift arrows, shift control arrows, the home and the end keys on your keyboard can allow you to copy and paste and select and move text so much quicker than you're used to. But you have to kind of commit to it. You have to play with this and get used to, your fingers have to get used to doing this. I do it, I don't even think about it now. It just happens automatically. Well, I hope you found those keyboard shortcuts helpful, and I hope you'll practice them so that you can save a bunch of time. And if you like this video, do me a favor, like the video and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'd really appreciate that. Hope you're having a great week. I'll see you next week.